I want y'all to look at the habits of the people that have the higher income sources. Study their habits. Look at the habits. Look at what entertains them. Look at what entertains their kids. I want us to just look at this stuff, right? I don't foresee, and it might be a few outliers out there, like a few Jewish kids or a few Indian kids or it might be a few folk that's actually listening to Sexy Red. It might be a few of them. But if you look at the majority versus the minority group of those folk, they ain't gonna let their kids listen to no Sexy Red. They might not let their kids listen to Sweetie. And then to go a step further, they might not even let their kids listen to Drake. Certain Drake songs. Look at it. Just look at the traits. And then if you look at what they listen to as far as music wise. Listen to the messaging. Look at what type of lifestyles they have. And then look at what we listen to. When I say we, I'm talking about everybody that might be 100,000 and under. Everybody 100,000 or even 200. I go 200,000 because they've adjusted what middle class is now, right? So let's say everybody that's 200,000 and under. Look at what they listen to. Welcome to the Man Lucrative Podcast. I'm the host, the one, the only, making yourself in the building. I'm in a building. I was gonna turn that into like a Louisiana bop. Like, I'm in a building, But anyway, it's a new week. We're going to have some fun today. This is episode 149. 149. I'm going to shout y'all out early. We're going to start early because I don't want the smoke. I don't want the room to get smoky. We just going to have some fun. First off, I'm going to shout out CEO J Cross. Trey, what up? Von James, what up? Eddie, what up? Sophie Sanders, what up? I saw Pastor Savage on Instagram, what up? I got a lot of screens to read, y'all. So if y'all are watching this on Patreon, I got a lot of screens to read. So give me 1 second. I got Pastor Savage on Instagram. What up? Bo Photo. What up? Cobent. What up? Party Gurky. I'm not gonna tell you what I think this name is, sir. I'm not gonna tell you what I think this is. Just like, what does this mean? Reg. What up? That thing. Jess. What up? Murky, what up? All right, we're going to go to YouTube. Angela. Jacob, what up? Big Darius, what up, big dog? That was a different voice. I like that voice. That voice is pretty cool. It's like the evil voice. But anyway, Mike, what up? And Jacob. All right, and that's it. That's all I see. So, listen. Ladies, any ladies that's watching this podcast on YouTube or on Patreon, tell your lady friends. We need some women over here because right now it's a sausage party. Is that politically correct? Can I say that? Trey, I need you to be my code of ethics. Reggie, I need you to be my code of ethics. Can I say a sausage party right now? It really is. I was telling my wife, yo, DK Rose, what up? Yo, DK Rose, I think I just saw you on Instagram. Could y'all hear my audio? Everybody on Instagram, can y'all hear my audio? We're trying out a few different things, a few new little tricks over here. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear my audio. But anyway, welcome to episode 149 again. Listen, hopefully everybody is in the mood to be entertained. I need a mute button. Yo. Trey said he need a mute button to edit my audio in real time. I promise you, I'm not going to say nothing that's incriminating, huh? Okay, all right. So let's get straight to it. I just finished the pre-show, right? I just finished the pre-show for Patreon and everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube. Listen, if you have been missing my pre-show, If you've been missing the pre-show, you need to go over to Patreon and subscribe. Or just go over to TikTok. Either one. Oh, so, all right. Trey said we got thumbs up on the audio, so we're good. JoJo, hey JoJo Jassy, JoJo Jassy. I'm gonna make hey, I might do a whole segment. Where I'm just creating songs for people's like screen names, cause I just be seeing certain screen names. Now some of them be a little bit suspect, so I can't really create songs out of all of them, cause I will get canceled. And I was told yesterday, all right, so we're going to get straight in. My friend from Carolina came in to the studio yesterday, right? And this is a friend. Shouts out to Raheem. We're going to be working on Raheem Kashan. Y'all need to go follow him. He's dope. When y'all hear the music that we're doing, it's like ridiculous. Stupid. And I am going to have my clap button, yes. So if you get tired of my clap button, just be like, yo, give me no more clap. And I'm probably still going to give you a clap. But anyway, Raheem came to the studio yesterday, and y'all know when I'm about to work with the artist, most of the time we don't even do music. When we first come in the studio, we don't even do music. We just have a conversation, and we talk about what type of mood you're in as far as life. What's the goals that you're trying to reach, either through music or in life. And then we start to formulate a plan centered around that. We create music centered around those conversations. So the beauty in this particular conversation is Raheem is actually, I've known him since high school. So he's seen my growth. He knows Michael Crawford, not just Magneto 7. He knows Michael Crawford, right? So he was like, bro, I just love your growth, man. Pause. No Diddy. Not that type of growth, huh? Not that. You got to catch it. As soon as it pop out, you're like, nope. Before somebody clip it up, run with a narrative. No. He's talking about life growth. So he's like, yo, I love your growth, and I love how you've just started to get into business, and how you formed just your whole life. He's like, yo, you're your grown man ish. I was like, appreciate it, big dog. And the funny thing is, it takes those type of friends, huh? This is a preaching moment. I need an organ. I need to put an organ right here. But this is like a teachable moment. It's important to have those friends around you that can not only call you out when you on your BS, whenever you're up on your BS, but the friends that realize when you have exponentially grown in certain areas, whether that's with communication, relational situations. Like, it's important to have those friends to be like, yo, I see you though. Yo, I see you, huh? I see you, huh? You see me. Y'all know the song? We are a part of Friends family. But anyway, it was cool. But I think that's the end of that conversation as far as me and Raheem. Let me tell y'all. And listen, Reggie, I don't know if Reggie's still on the chat on Instagram, but listen, I got to tell the truth, shame the devil. Today, I'm going to be on my Cat Williams moments. True. A lot of the things today, I'm going to be calling out a few things today. And just because I'm noticing, Trey said, stand with me, huh? Stand with me, huh? I stand with you. Hello. It's like the Hezekiah Walker song still, right? Hezekiah Walker. But anyway, I'm going to be telling the truth about a few things today. And one of the first things I want to talk about is us husbands. When we choose hotels, even if it's just a little one night stay, right? And you got a family, hear me out. And this is an attack. First off, I will say this is an attack on Comfort Inn. It is. So me and my wife actually decided to go to a wedding this past weekend, and we were in North Carolina. We spent Mother's Day over there with her folk, right? And I should have learned the lesson the first time. Did you hear the story about me going to Vegas and I booked the flight at the wrong time, and then when I booked the flight at the wrong time, then we had to go book a flight with like Frontier? Same type of situation, right? So anyway, but this time I'm like, yo, this is an easy one night stay. We gonna go over here, me and my wife, my 2 daughters, we gonna go stay at the little hotel for one night and go, and then we gonna travel. It's cool. Yo, I have learned, I don't know if y'all could call me out too, if I'm an elitist for this, or I just have high standards, I have high expectations. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I booked a hotel, a motel. I just learned the difference between hotel and motel too. This whole is different things. I booked a hotel stay at the Comfort Inn. Comfort Inn, what up? I want y'all to do better, because after I say what I got to say, y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all need to sit down in the corner. Y'all need to go have a timeout, have a meeting of the minds, and somebody come over here and say, look, what we need to do this, do a little different. All right, so hear me out. This is what happened. So we booked the hotel room, or motel room. I'm not going to even mess them up again. We booked the motel room at the Comfort Inn. I was like, all right, cool, little cheap something for one night, And I have to also add this variable. We were in the country. We went to go stay at the Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain is right outside of Gastonia in North Carolina, right between like Charlotte and like that South Carolina borderline, is right between that space. So I booked the hotel room at the Comfort Inn. I was like, it's a cool little something. Ain't gonna be none of that, cool. I looked at the pictures online. Fellas, teachable moment. Looked at the pictures online. Them joints said, it's like 4 stars. All right, 4 ain't bad. I'm used to 5. 5 is good. 5 is better. But 4, I seen a few 4s. But I didn't scroll down. When y'all looking at all of the comments and the reviews on these hotels or motels, scroll down. Keep scrolling. Don't stop at the first page. I feel like what they've been doing is they'll erase the bad reviews so that the good ones are at the top. So we go in. I go in the little lobby area. Keep in mind, this is Kings Mountain. This is the country of North Carolina. This is country. So I can't expect the Ritz-Carlton. I can't expect like the high dollar, like the what's the joint? The joint in Vegas. I can't expect those type of the J Marriott. I can't expect that in this little country town. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna cut it some slack. We're gonna go in. I go in the lobby area. The lobby area is cool. I was like, all right, cool. I should have listened to my male intuition. I looked around and I noticed it wasn't nobody there. I said, all right, it's cool. We checking in like 5 o'clock in the evening, but then there wasn't nobody in the parking lot hardly either. Wasn't that many people in the parking lot. So I was like, all right, no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and check in. I already paid for it. I'm gonna go ahead and check in right quick. So I check into the hotel. It's a little country white lady. Shouts out to her. She was great. I think her name was Doris or something like that. Doris. So Doris gives me a little door key. I was like, all right, so we do have this little scan joint. So it ain't that old wherein you got to put a key in and it's just like, it ain't old. It's still something technically new. So I check in, go to the car. I get in the car while I drive around the parking lot. And this is the second thing. Second thing that stuck out. I see a few like redneck white folk, like, and I'm cool with rednecks. So this is not an attack against rednecks. This is not an attack against masculinity. I'm going to be careful, Trey. I'm going to be careful. This is not an attack, but I just noticed certain things. I noticed some rednecks. They were just chilling, sitting like by like a Ford Escort. I ain't seen them in years. Had a Ford Escort. I think I seen a Prius. And then I saw a Saturn. So I was like, okay, all right, this is different. So I'm pulling into the parking space and I look around again and I see a few black folk. And I see this one white lady with this black dude. So I was like, I know what that looks like. And she had no teeth. All this right here, gone. Gone. So I was like, all right, okay, I'm still looking. Meanwhile, my wife looking at me like this. I'm like, wait, it's just like for one night. Yo, after all of that particular Comfort Inn, the door thing was broke. So you know how the door is supposed to lock when the guests go into the door? You're supposed to have the key to scan. That was broke. So I was like, all right, this is code red. This is code red. I'm starting to feel it another way. I go into it. We walk in. It's a smell. It was a nasty, like a funky, like musky, like it was just hideous, horrible smell, right? So we walk in. My wife looking at me like this, like, just a little rundown. And at this point, I cannot ignore all of the context clues. This is the trap. Listen, everybody that wants to stay confident, this is the trap of hotels. This is the trap of hotels. Hold up. Let me see who this is. Who? I said who this is. So let me know. The Only Lost Boys page. What up? Spice Nice checking in. What up? So we go up to the hotel room. We get on the elevator. Elevator stank just as bad as the lobby area stank. So I'm like, all right, we go up. We get up in the hotel room. We walk down the hallway. I hear everybody in their rooms. You can literally hear everybody that got everything going on. This let me, like, have y'all ever seen The Pursuit of Happiness in the hotel room that, like, Will Smith and his son had to stay in? Or any of the movies where it's like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to hustle and I'm going to grind until I get to where I need to go. I'm going to get rich or die trying, right? It's that type of vibe. So it's just nasty, trapped out. We go into the hotel room. And I might, if y'all watching this on playback on YouTube, I might actually put some footage in there because we did record everything. Because I was just like, yo, people would not believe me in me retelling the story of how nasty the room was. It's just nasty. Keep in mind, I guess the lowest hotel that I've ever stayed in is like a Holiday Inn. Like, that's the lowest. And I was like, for me, I was like, it's all right. So I'm thinking when I book this, the Comfort Inn, it's going to be like the Holiday Inn. It's just completely different. It is completely different. So we go into the hotel room. And it's just a long story. I'm going to abbreviate a little bit of it. But we pull up, we look at the sheets. The sheets had stains on it. Okay. So then my wife, I love women, yo. Women be catching all of the details. My wife, she looked back like this, looked at the floor. She said, you see that? I said, I don't see nothing. It's right there. I was like, I don't see it. So she shined a light on it. It's like a wavy looking stain that's on the floor on tile. I was like, how they ain't clean it? So after that, me and her both like, all right, we gotta go to Dollar Tree because I wasn't gonna cancel the room just for one night. It's just one night, right? So I felt like canceling though. I ain't gonna front. I felt like canceling it, but we went to Dollar Tree, got all these cleaning products, and cleaned the room as we would clean it. I wish everybody that worked at that particular company, y'all need to be prosecuted for how nasty that hotel room was. After we cleaned all the floors had brown stuff on the towels had brown stuff on them. The bed had like little spots on them. We changed all the bed sheets. The main comforter on the bed had a stain on it that was flipped in the inside, so you never would have been able to see it unless you took the whole sheet off. Nasty. I would never stay at a Comfort Inn again. I will put Comfort Inn along with my Detroit trip from a few years ago. I'm going to put Comfort Inn over there. I'm never going to stay over there again. Nasty. But anyway, that's my soapbox for the weekend. I don't know. I was a little bit traumatized, yo. I ain't gonna front. I expect at least the bare minimum when it comes to hotel stays. Like, I expect for it to be at least clean, at least. But that's not the case in this situation. So everybody, Angela, yes, we are going to talk about the Kale situation. But we got some more stuff to talk about outside of that. I'm going to see if I can pull this up right quick. I know I'm streaming on Instagram. If what I got to pull up on IG interferes with the feed, then I'll kill the feed. So everybody on IG, y'all might want to go to TikTok and watch it if you are watching it on IG right now. Let me see. This is more of our technology meets music industry meets our financial dealings when it comes to the money that's going to be available for creative people, right? I got a few clips. The Mez, if y'all want to follow him, he is dope content creator. He's been in the music business for a long, long time. He came in around that whole Ice Cube and Public Enemy and NWA. He came in around that time, and he's still active in the music business, but now he's doing more content. So I'm gonna share a few content pieces, and I want us to just connect the dots. We got to connect the dots because right now, ain't looking good. And I'm not a doomsdayer. I just want us to be informed. I like for us to be informed. So listen to this right quick, and we're going to talk about it.
So let me get this straight. Like 70% of the music business is just gone. Most of the creative A&Rs and promotion. Radio is mostly automated. The movie industry, if it's not on strike, it's negotiating, and there's no big movies coming out. Everything's just kind of dead in entertainment. Nobody's investing in any new projects. It's kind of just dead out there. What's going on? Like, is the entertainment business just... I mean, people still go out. People still have fun. But where is everybody? I mean, I've gone around LA studios, all kinds of places, and there's just, it's like a ghost town in the entertainment business. There's like, confusing. I mean, don't we like to have fun anymore?
All right, so, and I'm going to have to mute some of that because I heard the Mary J in the background. But that's one clip. That's one clip I want to bring to the forefront. This is the second clip I want to bring to the forefront. We're going to connect the dots. All right, check it out.
The dirty little secret is that very few artists actually made a really healthy living selling records in the history of the music industry. Because people forgot that the music industry was always technology. Like, people forgot that RCA was technology that Americans used in World War I and II. And then RCA became a consumer product, and then bought Victor's talking machine. And it also became our radio. And it's also the reason why artists don't get paid terrestrial radio rights in America, because it was always the lost leader. Here, 2013, if you didn't write the song, you just performed it, you don't get any money when it's played on radio. If you're an act from 1960, and your song's playing on K Earth 101, and right after it is a Depends commercial, because you know exactly who the audience is, older folks, that artist isn't participating in any of the revenue because America doesn't practice terrestrial radio rights. The dirty...
Did y'all hear that? All right, so we got two different variables going on. We got two different variables. On one side, we're talking about technology, right? On one side, we're talking about technology and the music business not necessarily ever being about music. Music business has always been about promoting product, right? So that's one side. One side is technology and formulating what that looks like as far as the economy of musicians. Then the other side is the entertainment side. What are people now starting to do for entertainment? How are people connecting with each other and forming relationships and just meetups, just a regular meetup? What are people doing now that they was not doing, I'm going to say, maybe 10 years ago? I say 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I'm going to tell y'all this, and I don't know how many times we had a conversation centered around tech and COVID. The conversations that we had centered around tech and COVID. Do y'all remember, this is probably about 2 years ago now. About 2 years ago. But I was saying when it comes to COVID, how it will separate a lot of people and make a lot of people, a certain group of people, going to be scared to ever go out. They'll be scared to go out. And when I think of go out, let me put more context to that. When I think of people going out and mingling and just having these meetups, I think of concerts. I think of speakeasies. I think of like the big bar concerts, like down here, I can't think of the name. I think the Attic is one of these places, one of the venues, right? But I think of how many of those places would have been affected as a result of COVID and tech. COVID and tech. I don't want to separate the two. Because guess what? Now that we see all right, this technology was created as a result of COVID. These people were fired as a result of getting used to working at home. And since I have to work at home, now you want me to come back to the office? I really don't want to come back to the office because I got to spend for gas. I got to spend on lunch out sometimes. I got to spend on all of this stuff. So it's more costs that's occurred came up as a result of COVID, right? So now put all of those things into the equation. How many musicians actually started to make the pivot? I don't think a lot of musicians have started to make the pivot as it relates to where they will get money from and where they should spend their time. A lot of musicians have not made the pivot. If y'all remember, what was the name of the platform? It's a platform, I think it's based in Georgia too. Golly. Colors. The platform called Colors, right? Where the artist would come in, some microphone hanging from the ceiling, and the artist perform in front of the camera, then they put the episode out, and then the artist gets more fan base as a result of that. I don't know how many artists have really taken note on how many platforms that exist like that since that's come out and that's made it big. I foresee that being one of the only forms of money and entertainment that we will get from musicians in the near future. I think that's going to be one of the only facets of income. Now, also, I have to also add, I have been talking to my lucrative community everybody in my lucrative community. What up? How y'all doing? If y'all want to join the lucrative community, go ahead and hit the link in my bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the link in the description. I would love to have you here. It's like $20 a month right now. Right now, it's only $20 a month. For my legacy members, it'll be $20. For everybody else, I will be going up. But anyway, for my community, I've been telling everybody in my community to build their own communities. Right? I'll say it again. I've been coaching everybody in my community to figure out a way to build their own communities, because what's going to happen is this. I feel like we'll get to the place where everybody only spends money with the people that they either know or the people that's connected to somebody. Like, it's going to be different chains of command. Not chains of command. That's the wrong phrase. Points of contact. There's going to be different points of contact when it comes to why I'm going to spend my money with this, especially when it comes to entertainment. Because think about this. When's the last time you spent money for a ticket to go see somebody in concert? That's one. And then add to that, why did you spend the money to go see them in concert? Like, was it a legacy act like Usher or Beyonce or the Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind and Fire? Was it a legacy act that you went to go see, and that was the thing that pushed you to go buy the ticket? Or was it somebody that invited you to a concert? The ticket price was cheap enough. You went ahead and spent the money and went in and enjoyed the entertainment. I like for us to think of all of these things, right? So think of this. If you have communities of people, and you got communities of musicians, and they say, look, I need to have a concert and I want to have 30 to 100 people show up at the concert. If I have 30 to 100, that'll cover all of my upfront costs. But if I get under that, it'll be okay, but I need 30 to 100. Well, if you got a community of people you talk to consistently, and you got a community of people that you talk to consistently, guess what? It's going to be easier for you to get somebody to come out and support the concert. It'll be easier because you don't have to go through all of the red tape of finding people that'll vouch for you. I think that's the best way to say it. Like, I think COVID pushed everybody into the cave. It made everybody second guess, why am I going to spend my money over here? And why should I spend this? Now, also add this to the equation. I know everybody has been bringing up the GDP, and they've been looking at the different income groups and the different income sources. And keep in mind, again, this is something that I talked about 2 years ago. I talked about this 2 years ago. And I said, it's only going to get worse if we keep doing the same thing over and over. I keep saying it. I ain't changed up. So now the fact that people are looking at the different income groups and they're looking at the different status of the people, like, yo, we need to do something about it. I've been told you we need to do something about this. I've been told y'all this. And what I'm talking about, if y'all are watching this on playback, it's a chart that has all of the different groups of people. You got Indians, you got black people, you got white folk, you got Asian Americans, you got Hispanic Americans, right? It's all these different income groups, and they put Indian people at the top, and black people are right next to the bottom. We right next to the bottom. I've been talking about this. I think what's key. What up, Keys? I've kept talking about this, and I think what's happening is when we get sidetracked. We keep doing the same thing, and we don't really address the issue. The real issue is income and wealth and economics. That's the real issue that we really need to address. That's the reason why the last couple of episodes with Drake and Kendrick, if y'all look at the title on YouTube, I titled it Decoy. That was the reason I titled it Decoy. Everybody, now, and me, I love the rap beef. I love the hip hop. I love the sport of hip hop. I love music business. I love all of this stuff. But I don't love it to the point where I'm going to stop and not pay attention to my own personal economics and what I'm looking like financially. Everybody really needs to they need to have a come to Jesus moment. Exactly. The produced keyboard, the wave said redlining. Exactly. So if we look at this and we study this is something I wasn't even going to dig into this that much on this episode. But I want y'all to look at the habits of the people that have the higher income sources. Study their habits. Look at the habits. Look at what entertains them. Look at what entertains their kids. I want us to just look at this stuff, right? I don't foresee, and it might be a few outliers out there, like a few Jewish kids or a few Indian kids or it might be a few folk that's actually listening to Sexy Red. It might be a few of them. But if you look at the majority versus the minority group of those folk, they ain't gonna let their kids listen to no Sexy Red. They might not let their kids listen to Sweetie. And then to go a step further, they might not even let their kids listen to Drake. Certain Drake songs. Look at it. Just look at the traits. And then if you look at what they listen to as far as music wise, listen to the messaging, look at what type of lifestyles they have. And then look at what we listen to. When I say we, I'm talking about everybody that might be 100,000 and under. Everybody 100,000 or even 200. I go 200,000 because they've adjusted what middle class is now, right? So let's say everybody that's 200,000 and under. Look at what they listen to. I guarantee you they won't have a high playlist with Sexy Red. And what's another one? Give me somebody else. Sexy Red. I can't think. See, and this should let you know too. I produce music. I can't even tell you of all of the ratchet artists because I don't listen to it. My kids ain't gonna listen to that. It's just like look at the tea leaves, right? Look at the tea leaves. Now, what does entertain these people are good dinners, and they go out and they might spend $200, $300 on a dinner with their family, have a good night out. Then they come home, they might watch something wholesome. These folk might have their kids watching the BlackBerry documentary. And then they talk about the business ventures that they did in the they're talking to their kids about this stuff. What are we talking to our kids about? Oh man, Kendrick killed Drake. Kendrick killed Drake. When he did that, and he said the A minor. It's like, oh, it's crazy. Right? That's what we're talking to our kids about. Foolishness. And I don't want to make this the adult podcast. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm just looking at what will the finance look like? Finances for everybody 200,000 and under in the next 5 to 10 years. What does that look like for everybody? And if you think that you're good with that, cool. So be it. Don't worry about it. But don't think because you're good right now means you'll be good later on. It's a concept that came out a few years ago, maybe a few years ago, but it says whatever does not grow is dying. Whatever's not growing is dying. Subconsciously, it's dying. If it's not growing, it's dying, right? I like to equate that to everything. Everything in the world, if it's not growing, is dying, right? So if you're doing 100,000, if you did 100,000 in the 80s, you were a baller. You were a baller. Your family was up. Like everybody, oh yeah. Me and the family going to Disney. How much was Disney? $1,500 for 4 people back then. $1,500 for 4 people. You got 100,000 now? They're like, okay, good for you. Good for you. But I look at it like this. If we're not focused on the things that's going to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for the future, you're setting yourself up to lose in the future. Right? I'm gonna read some comments right quick. Let me read some comments. Everybody on YouTube, I see y'all's comments. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go to Instagram right quick though. Let's see. Nerdy Music says, "What up, man? Let me get in there. This is my brother." Nerdy says 200,000 and headed towards $500,000 by the exactly. Produce Key the Wave says you're right. I was looking at Jim Rome. Yeah, exactly. Jim Rome is you own it. So now this is the other thing. This is another thing. I like to point these things out. I love the fact that we have a chat going now too. I love the chat. The fact that produced by Keyboard the Wave, the fact that he even knows who Jim Rohn is. The fact that he even knows who Jim Rohn is lets me know he's feeding himself. He's feeding himself something that he will be able to benefit from now and in the future. I look at it like this, all right? And this is another reason I saw the comment asking if we're going to talk about Kel Mitchell. We will talk about it. But this is, again, decoys, right? If you know who Jim Rohn is and you're feeding yourself something now and you're not in school, you know what life is about. You know what if you know what the secret is and you know about the whole series, secret series, you know about all of that stuff. You're feeding yourself something. I think the perception that we have all been fed in the U.S., and I'm trying not to go too political with this, but I think everything that we've been fed in the U.S. regarding education has been false. I was going to say somewhat false, but no, I think it's been false. Because everybody thinks that you have to go to an institution and you have to go get your bachelor's, and you got to go get your master's, and if you really want to do it, then you got to go get your doctorate degree. Then after you do all of that, you get out of school, you got a couple $100,000 in debt. Now you're going to go get the good job to pay off the debt, but then it's not necessarily a locked in thing that you're going to get the good job to pay off the debt. What up, Rico Face? What up? It's not necessarily true that you're going to get the good job to pay off the debt. So now you're at your job, you're stressed, you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet, and you're making that 100,000, or you're starting to make that 200,000, right? But now all of the money that you make, you got to go towards the education, versus you just educate yourself after you go through the preliminaries, which is K through 12. K through 12, that's the preliminaries. After you go through that, it's your job to continually feed yourself the education. Feeding yourself the education. Now you got YouTube. You got people like me. You got other folk that's coaches that's out here trying to give you information and trying to help you achieve this thing, achieve and be successful at this thing called life, right? You have everybody trying to feed you this information. It's up to you to disconnect from all of the decoys and feed yourself something that's going to benefit you. Education never stops, y'all. I don't care if you 60 years old, 70 years old. It's always going to be something else that you can educate yourself on to get better at, right? And it's a phrase. It's something that I had. It's something I had wrote down, and what I wrote down was, Do you know, are you perceiving your time the right way right now? Are you currently perceiving what time looks like properly? Are you perceiving what time looks like properly? Right? I like to use Trey will know who I'm talking about. She actually discontinued her membership, which is cool. I'm not mad at her. But it's a particular person that came to our lucrative community a while ago, and you know, I was getting on her. Everybody that knows, if you want me to coach you, be willing to do the work. I don't want nobody to pay me no money that's not willing to do the work, because it makes me look bad. If you're gonna be a part of my lucrative community, it makes me look bad if you don't want to do the work. All right, so that's first off. We're gonna get that out the way. So, but still join if you want to join. If you want to get better, join. But anyway, this is a particular lady that joined the community, and the first day I said, all right, so what's the plan? What's your goal? And she said she wanted to get some music out by a certain time period. I said, all right, so why you want to wait so long? Why you want to wait so long? For me, I look like a bum if I let you say I want to release a project in the next 2 years. Do you know that you might not wake up tomorrow morning? Do you realize that next year might not even exist? I look at it like that, right? So I let her talk. I said, all right, you want to do that and this. I said, I propose to you this. I said, download the 30-day social media jumpstart. After you download the 30-day social media jumpstart, then start implementing that plan on your social media page. Start working with it, see what you can get going. And then we can address a real timeline for you to release a project. But I personally think you can release something like in the next 2 weeks. Speed up the process. What happens is this, and I don't know how many independent artists or producers or even content creators or business owners that's been contemplating whether they should use social media to promote your business. Guess what? Yes. You need to be using social media to promote your business. Guess why? It's free. I've never seen something so tangible and so efficient as social media. I've never seen it ever. I know back in the day, I think people were spending on the average maybe $2 to $3 grand for an ad to do radio, right? Back then you had to do radio, you had to do this, all this. You had to try to rub elbows with the right people. You had to do all of this stuff, right? You had to do all of these things just to say, hey, I got a new album coming out. Or, hey, I got a new business that opened up down the street. And then you print the flyers, put them on the side of the building. Then you get hit with the code enforcement because you say you're littering or you do all of this stuff. Versus now, you can get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, you can get on YouTube and just start creating content and tell people, look, I got this thing that I want you to come participate in. I got this class. I got this business. Come try some food out. It's free. It's free. So why would you not use social media? That's one, all right? That's one. And then, who are you to say, and this comes to the perception thing. Why do you think what you're currently doing is not good enough and it won't work and it won't build the following that you need to make yourself succeed? Why are you perceiving that now? I've coached so many people that come up with all of these roadblocks, and it's like, yo, every time I hear a person's roadblock, for every person's roadblock, I see the solution. Every time I coach somebody and they say, well, I did this and that didn't work. I was like, all right, you did that and it didn't work. How long did you do it for? I did this and it didn't work. And I still, what you said don't work. I need to do this. All right, cool. I get it. All right. Let's say this. Let's say you didn't do it long enough for enough people and the people that needed it didn't see it. Let's say that. Right? I mean, maybe. All right. So then what I do, I tell people and this is a word to the wise, y'all. For everybody that don't have the ability to pay for anybody to coach them just yet, Look at pods like this. Podcast that freely gives information. Me, EYL, Social Proof Podcast. I think John Hope, the billionaire, started a new podcast. Look at these type of pods and formulate your own concepts and your own analogies on and how you're going to implement those plans into your day-to-day activity, right? Look at these things. This is simple. This is a simple play. But anyway, if you are using somebody or somebody's coaching you and they say, all right, oh, you want to sell this? I'm not selling this product because they didn't pay me for it. Oh, you want to sell this? Oh, all you got to do is put this on top of that and then show people that. You do it, I guarantee you, a lot of the times that one little change is the things that's the stuff that's gonna shift your career or shift the way you look at things. How we perceive things really affects how we benefit or how we fail. And I don't have a lot of good words today. I'm sorry, y'all. I took about a week off. But how we perceive things really it dictates how we win or how we fail at it. So now put this in music world. I will. You ask? I got you. Thank you. No problem. Say you're a music producer and you wanna get into the space of getting a following built up. So if you get a following built up, you can hopefully get a placement. Most producers want placements, right? And I have a whole nother conversation with that. But say you want to get a placement with an artist. You come to somebody like me, I'm going to say, yo, use social media. All right, I'm going to use it. And then you just start posting stuff. You start posting stuff with no intention. You just start posting as much stuff as possible. And you start seeing people start to work with you, right? You got a few people here and there. But it's still not the clients that you're trying to go for. So then you come back to somebody like me, that's why you should join the lucrative community. You come to somebody like me and I say, yo, okay, I see you posting this. You did this. But that particular video got 1,000 views and your other videos got 75 views. Let's study why that video has 1,000 views. Context versus, oh, it just didn't work. It ain't working. It ain't work. No, it's a reason why that one worked. So I sit down and say, analytics did this. Oh, your head was kind of turned like this when you shot the video. The lights was set up like this. The keyboard was set up like this. Your drum machine was set up like this. Duplicate what you did in that video and try it in another video. They tried, duplicated, 2,000 views. They're like, oh, I'm getting it. And like, yo, I told you, it's how we perceive things matters. If you think what you're doing is not working, don't just write it off to it's not working. Don't just write it off. Don't write it off and say, oh, it ain't working. Why is it not working? Have you ever did anything that worked? Okay, you did do something that worked. What did you do differently? That's what I like to make sure I hone in on, those type of conversations when I'm talking to musicians, especially now. Because look at it like this. Y'all heard the Swizz guy. What's his name? Dizzy. Y'all heard the first clip. He was saying how the music business is like a ghost town right now, right? I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. I think the music business and the creative spaces that used to get the money, $500 for an hour of studio time, and you want to go to the Capitol Records building, you want to go to Patchwork, you want to go to all of these expensive studios. I think what's happened is a lot of the independent artists and a lot of the majors have learned, oh, if I just build my own space, I save money, and then the money that I actually make from music, I can live off of more of this and invest it back into my music. People getting smart. When the economy changes and people's habits start to change, we have to change along with those things. We can't think that it's just an easy fix. We're not at a fixable spot. Let me see what CEO J. Cross says. CEO J. Cross says the toxicity of the music industry is being exposed, which is causing people to get woke. I agree with that too. I will also add to that, I think a lot of people are looking for the predatory deals. They're looking for the predatory spaces. And they're also looking for the predatory everything, right? They're looking for all of these predatory parties that have existed in the business for years. Shouts out to Cat Williams. Shouts out to Kendrick Lamar. I think a lot of folk just, I don't think people have thought, I don't think they thought that it was a lie. I think that's the best thing I can say. I don't think the average human that's looking from the outside in has looked at the music business as being spick and span clean. I think a lot of people are not only noticing these are the nasty little nuances that exist in the business. They see it now, but now it's context to what they see, right? I.e. the Puff and the Cassie case, and how people always say, "Well, rich people got the upper hand and they can make anything disappear." It's a case. They just pay their lawyer and make it disappear. In the 90s and the 80s, maybe the early 2000s, it existed, right? But then now you add social media into the economy of content, right? You add social media. I have to say stuff over and over because I think people just miss the whole phrase, right? You add social media to the context of content. Case in point, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, we didn't have social media to fact check some of these things that exist. We didn't have social media to fact check this stuff. Like I'm not going to talk about that. I did not want to talk about that. But as soon as the Cassie thing happened and then Puff hurried up and paid it off, in the 90s, you could get that off and nobody say nothing about it. Now, if it goes public, all of the platforms talk about everything. And then if in the event that you pay it off, the platform's going to talk about you paying it off. And if you pay it off quick, they're going to talk about you paying it off quick. And now you got millions and billions of people that can formulate their own opinion of what you just did. Right? We can't ignore the moral aspect that exists in that space. You can't ignore it now. Everybody sees it, which is good. It's good, but it's also scary in the event of somebody doing something I can't say that in the same sentence. Somebody doing something with pure intention. I think a lot of the time, there are some cases where a person will pay something off with pure intention because they just want to make sure that person is good, right? I don't know if that's the situation with Puff. I don't know if that's the situation with any of these folk, but I'm just saying sometimes the intention is pure, right? But now we got social media. So these are all good things to me. These are good things because Puff or lawyers or anybody can easily come up and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Another thing, I did not talk about it last pod. I'll talk about it this pod. The teacher that had his hair, the thing going on with his hair, right? Then the girl students was doing his hair. I had a conversation with my wife and I said, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with him letting the girls do this because I got daughters, right? It's not necessarily just for how it looks, right? How it looks, it can look innocent. And keep in mind, if I have students, I'm gonna be one-on-one with my students. It's gonna be a cool, like, safe environment, right? But I would never get to the point where I say shave my head. Like, it's just weird. It's weird. It don't look good. Now you also have to add the history in the educational field with certain teachers not having the right relational situations going on with their students. A lot of this we have heard. I know I ain't gonna say the name, but I know a few teachers that either had to get expelled. They got the charge. Y'all know what the charge is, the petty charge. They got that pinned on them. They got all this stuff on them, right? The fact that we know that exists is why he should not have done that. Right? Be cool with your students in another way. Be cool with him in another way. That was just a bad call of judgment. So the fact that they let him go, I get it. And all of my super artsy people that might say, "Oh, that was wrong. You should let him." All right, think about it like this. What if that was somebody that we've all deemed as weird and nasty and had questionable moments with their students or artists or any of these other things? Insert that person into that space. Oh no, it's nasty. No, it's, you never know. That's my point. You never know who is the good ones, right? So for that reason, I pray that he recovers, he gets Godspeed, he gets another job, all of the good stuff. I pray the good stuff happens to him. How much time we got? We got a few minutes. All right, cool. We'll talk about this Kel situation. Keep in mind, you see, I waited to the end. I did not want to use this as a decoy. We got to address the real issues that exist in our space. Address the real issues. Anyway, so we'll talk about this Kel situation for a second. Kel Mitchell was on Club Shay Shay recently. Shouts out to Club Shay Shay. My wife be like, "Stop calling it Shay Shay." He was on Shay. No, he was on Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay. Anyway, and he was talking about certain things that's happened with him and his wife, and him in the music and the entertainment business, and the history that he had in the business. My full takeaway from that conversation that he had with Shannon Sharpe was, we've all adopted some weird stuff. We've all adopted and okayed some weird stuff in the entertainment business. And I would like to say it's about time. It's about time. What happened is, of course, Kel was talking about his wife, and he's talking about her having babies with multiple men. And then the wife then came up on one of the platforms and said, "Y'all, he ain't telling y'all the truth," and this, and she's trying to save face. This is all just like a real quick summary of what's happened, right? For one, entertainment business is not relational business. Sorry. The entertainment business is not relational business. The entertainment business is business predicated upon making money. You want to make money when you get into the entertainment business. That's what this is. So anybody that think or that thinks this something different, and this is a nice kumbaya, and you come chill with me, I chill with you, we having friends, we clean family. No, everybody that called each other bro and family is not bro or family. So let's erase that whole concept. That's dead. All right? So we're going to say that? We're going to say that. All right, it's dead. That's dead. Because I think it's just funny that everybody thinks folk are cool with folk. It's just like, yo, we're from the same hometown, so I know you know. Nah. Because we're from the same spot don't mean we cool with each other. Let's disregard, let's get away from that myth. That's one. For two, it takes strong individuals and strong families to deal with what the entertainment business will throw at you. Me personally, I didn't know how to efficiently communicate all of my thoughts to my family while I was in the music business, like the beginning stages of me being in the music business. I didn't know how to relay those messages. How do you tell your family, I want to complain about this studio session and how I wasn't treated fairly, and nobody really wanted to hear my creative thoughts, so I had to go do this. You don't know how to communicate that stuff. And then when you reach a certain dollar amount per track, you don't even know how to relay the messaging of, I think I'm supposed to get paid more than what I'm getting paid right now. I think I'm supposed to, I don't really know how to prove it. I think I'm supposed to be getting paid more. You don't know how to say that. So now you just go into your own cave and you start to disassociate yourself with family or friends or whoever was originally in your space. You disconnect because you're just trying to deal with your own stuff. Kel talked about that so many times in that interview, and I was like, I get it. I get it. I would even say this. I step out on the ledge and say this. I can see why the wife did what she did. Sleeping around. I can see why. I get it. Nobody ever understands loneliness or being disgruntled or not knowing how to say, I feel like this when you do this. Everybody don't know how to relay those messages. So the fact that she did what she did, I get it. I get it. I don't excuse it, but I get it. Same thing with a lot of fellas that may have grown up in single parent houses where they got just the mom and dad left and all that stuff. I'm at the point now, after touching 40, I'm at the point now where I get why a lot of fellas leave. I get it. Again, do I okay it? No. Do I say, okay, I get it and I agree with you, yo, good job, bro. No, I'm not doing that. But what I am saying is a lot of dudes that may have gotten somebody pregnant in their 20s or their teens or mid-20s, even if it's 30 and you're not all the way there mentally just yet, I get why a lot of those dudes leave. Those are the people that have not really learned how to communicate what's going on in their head, how to problem solve, how to get the right friend groups to pull them up. Right? I'm an advocate believer now. I'm an advocate believer of making sure you surround yourself with the people that can make you better. If you don't do that, you're going to be out here short. Right? We got to wrap. All right. So anyway, everybody, I want to say I appreciate y'all on YouTube. Thank y'all. If y'all have something that y'all want to talk about next week, just let me know. I have not had a lot of time to read comments on Super Chat, so my apologies. But if you're watching this on Patreon, I appreciate y'all. Everybody on TikTok, I appreciate y'all. We got to wrap it up. And I'll see y'all next week. All right. Peace.